There is this myth floating around that strategies like real estate investing, wealth planning, or even using your mortgage to build financial freedom are only for the people with six-figure salaries or overflowing bank accounts. But I'm here to tell you that that is not true. And I know that because I didn't start with any of that. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Erica B., mortgage strategist, lifelong entrepreneur, and someone who believes that financial freedom shouldn't be reserved for the top 1%. This week, we're talking about one of the biggest mindset blocks that keeps everyday Canadians from building real wealth. That feeling of, sure, Erica, all of this makes sense, but I'm not rich. I can't start yet. Let's unpack that. I hear it all the time. I don't make enough money. I'm not ready yet. Maybe one day when I've saved more. But here's what I want you to know. The people who build wealth, they usually don't start because they're wealthy. They become wealthy because they start. So let's shift the question from, am I rich enough to begin, to what do I have right now that I can use intentionally? Because strategy beats savings every single time. Let me take you back for a second. I bought my first property at 21 years old, not because I had it all figured out. I didn't have a trust fund. I did not have a financial plan, but I had the willingness to learn, to hustle, and look at things differently. And I still do. I rented out rooms. I lived below my means, and I reinvested when I could, not only in the market, but in myself as well. And over time, that first home became the foundation for so much more. I share this not because your story needs to look like mine, but because I want you to know that it doesn't have to look like anyone else's either. You might be sitting on equity you don't even know you could use. You might have great credit score, a solid income, and a property that could work harder for you if it was structured a little bit differently. And even if you don't own a property yet, you might be closer than you think. Because building wealth starts with two things: clarity and strategy. Let's simplify it. Here's what you don't need to get started. You don't need a massive investment account. You don't need to own multiple properties. You don't need to be debt-free. And you don't need to be ready in the traditional sense. Here's what you do need: a willingness to look at your numbers with fresh eyes, an openness to shifting how you think about debt and opportunity, guidance from someone who's done this before and knows how to walk you through it, and a mortgage, or maybe a future mortgage, that's structured strategically. That's it. The rest, we build as we go. I worked with a client recently, a couple in their mid-30s. They had one home, no flashy portfolio, 2 kids, daycare bills, and not a lot of breathing room. But they also had great credit, a mortgage with about 22 years left on it, and a willingness to look at things differently and try something new. We restructured their mortgage into a readvanceable line of credit, and we implemented the Smith Maneuver strategy. And with zero change to their lifestyle, they started investing $600 a month and cut a few years off of their amortization. They didn't start rich, but they retire wealthier because they started. You don't need to be a millionaire to start thinking like one. And honestly, you don't have to chase rich at all, because what most people really want is freedom. It's flexibility and it's stability. It's a life that they can actually get to enjoy. And those things, they're built with intention, not with income level. So if you've ever thought this isn't for people like me, I'm here to challenge that belief gently but firmly, because this is exactly for people like you. And if you're ready to explore what's possible with what you already have, push that big red easy button below and let's start with a simple chat. Make sure you subscribe, stick around, and I'll see you next week as we break down another mortgage myth that might be holding you back. We've got a lot to talk about, and so I'm glad you're here. Mortgage Free with Erica B.